Hey YouTube, it's me Anna. I'm just here to do my Q&A video and a quick little update. So I told you that yesterday I had my ultrasound and it was really painful. This morning I woke up and I had pink and brown spotting. So I was freaking out and I was like, I'm worried, I'm super worried. I talked to some of my friends and they said after every internal ultrasound that they had spotting. So it lasted about an hour or so, and then I just went to the bathroom and it was completely brown. So it's still coming out, but it's completely brown, and I just feel so much better about it. So I feel good. And let's get into the questions. So Amanda Evans asks, have you thought about gender reveal parties? How do you feel about them? And what are you planning to do? So I'm planning on not knowing for 17 weeks, which is crazy, I know. Because we have this blood test in a town nearby that will determine the sex of the baby at week 10 with 99.9% accuracy. So we're gonna get that done, and then only my husband is gonna know. And we are going to Disney World in my 17th week, and we plan on doing some sort of gender reveal at Disney World with his entire family. So I'm really excited. I'm super pumped. So I'm super excited about that. Sharmika Teeny asks, what questions would you ask an RE? Because she's going to an RE really soon, reproductive endocrinologist. I would ask them to give you some sort of genetic testing, because I had no clue what was going on, that I had the MTHFR mutated gene, and that really hinders your absorption of folic acid. So make sure you ask about genetic testing. Bunchin Baby asks, how do you feel about gender reveal parties? What are you most excited to experience in your pregnancy? I'm so for gender reveal parties. Like I said, I'm going to be on vacation in Disney World, so we're going to be doing this huge reveal then. I'm going to try to get it on camera. What are you most excited for throughout your pregnancy? I want to get to the second trimester. I've never been to the second trimester. It's like a place for me. So I think once I hit like 9 weeks and nothing's wrong, I'm gonna feel like this huge weight has been lifted, because that's where my last, or my first pregnancy ended. So anything past 9 weeks, I'm gonna be thrilled about. Also, feeling the baby move, that is gonna be crazy, and I'm super excited. Phoenix Harvey asks, how many kids do you want? If you were guaranteed to get pregnant every time, how many kids would you want? So originally, when I started trying, which was 4 years ago, I wanted 4 kids before I was 30. And that's not gonna happen. I'm 28 now. So, so yeah, I'm hoping for 2 to 3. I think that's a good range. So yeah, that's what I want. Valve 1 asks, what's your biggest challenge with becoming a parent? How might you tackle it? That is such a good question. I don't know. I mean, I haven't read any parenting books. I don't even know. I worked in elementary schools, and I guess the most challenging thing would be a defiant kid who just wouldn't listen to you. But I also feel like my babysitting style and my parenting style is very to the point and no fuss about it. So I don't know that I would have a child that's super defiant. So yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Ashley Lauren asks, did insurance cover IUI? No. How much did you pay for it? $483.75, and I got it 4 times. Any requirements before IUI? They had to make sure that my uterus was clear, and it wasn't. I had a fibroid. They had to, they wanted to check my tubes, but they knew that I was pregnant before, so they didn't have any reason to do an HSG. So hysteroscopy, fibroid removal, that's about it. Katara Dial asks, did I do anything different this cycle? This cycle was the first cycle that I did not use progesterone. I didn't use Crinone gel at all, and it turns out I don't need it. My progesterone was at a 34 point something, and it needed to be between 11 something and 90 something, so I'm well within the normal range. It's all good. It was medicated though. I did take Clomid, cycle day 3 through 7, 100 milligrams. Lisa Aiden asks, will you breastfeed? Why or why not? Yes, I am definitely going to breastfeed. It's free. And I mean, barring major issues, I just really feel passionately about breast being best. So yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Mari Cruz asks, how long did you try? 4 years. January 2010 is when I went off all birth control and I started charting my cycle, and I saw immediately I had no crosshairs, no fertile CM, nothing. So I knew there were issues from the beginning. What's my biggest craving? I guess those dried seaweed packets. So weird. They kind of replace chips for me. They come in these little like crumbly packaging, shiny, and then they have this little plastic insert that has sheets, like little layers of dried seaweed. Oh, it's so good. And they're only 15 calories, and they taste like potato chips to me, like weird fish flavored potato chips, but they're like kind of oily, and they have salt, like sea salt on them, so they're salty and oily. So they replace chips for me. 15 calories per package, and it's a pretty decent package, so I'm pretty happy about my snack. What's your worst symptom? I think tender breasts, it feels extreme at times, because sometimes I'll just be brushing my teeth and the weight of them hurts me so much. But once they're confined, and if I'm in a sports bra or a really good supportive bra, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me. So Alicia Miller asks, best advice given for you to remain hopeful? What was the best advice? Mine was to stay calm about everything, which is really hard to do, and oftentimes I did not stay calm, and also know that it's not in your hands. To a point, things are in your control, and then they're completely out of your control. So that was the best advice I could give. Married and Blessed, who won the TTC giveaway, asks, are you hoping for twins, and does it run in the family? So my husband's cousins are twins, but not really. They don't really run in my family at all. I would love twins, though. It would be great. Curly Mom Love asks, are you waiting to share the news with friends or family? Or are you going to do it right away? My close friends, I told right away, and my family, my mother and father-in-law and my dad know, and then two of my close friends. So not a whole lot of people know. I'm super excited to make an announcement. I'm gonna wait until I'm 13 weeks to make the big announcement. Brandy Lakey asks, are you finding out the gender? If you could choose, what would you choose, boy or girl? Yes, I'm gonna find out the gender around 10 weeks through a blood test. And if I could choose, it would be a girl. And I've had this weird feeling since the beginning that, oh, if I was pregnant this cycle, it'd be a girl. I feel like it's a girl. So I feel like it's a girl. I don't even know. Bunny Love 87 asks, do you have names picked out? Yes. We actually want to keep a family name. So we actually have a list, and Doug's grandfather was really into genealogy. So he has his side of the family way back hundreds and hundreds of years, and they're Norwegian, so they're kind of weird names, but some are really cool names. So we're gonna try to pick a name that isn't hard to pronounce, but maybe a little old-fashioned. JAD 8102 asks, how do you relax during all of this IUI process? I would highly recommend acupuncture. It was amazing. I stopped going, they raised my copays, and it was pretty insane, so I couldn't afford it anymore, but acupuncture is amazing. And there are also acupressure that you could do on yourself, so I would look into doing acupressure and just praying or meditating or being calm for a solid hour just really helped me refocus my energy. So I loved acupuncture. Mary F asks, there's so many ups and downs to trying to conceive. How do you deal with it? I cried a lot. Every cycle, it was such a disappointment. And I've been trying for a long time, 4 years, I mean over 4 years, like 4 years and 8 months. I've been trying so long, and I couldn't help but get discouraged. And I know what you mean. At the beginning of your cycle, or when you're about to ovulate, you feel all this hope and all of this energy that's positive. And then as soon as you get your period, it's like the wind has been taken out of your sails. Cry, have somebody that you can talk to about it. My husband and my best friend are amazing listeners, and they would cry with me. Well, my husband would try to stay strong for me, but my best friend would cry with me and let me vent, and she was as emotionally invested in my trying to conceive than I was, so it was really good to have that support system. Celine Satterfield asks, what meds are you taking this cycle? I'm taking Thorne Labs or Thorne Research prenatals, which are bioactive, and then Thorne Research B complex vitamins, which are also bioactive. I'm also taking synthetic folate just to boost my folic acid absorption. Baby aspirin, and the Clomid in the beginning of the cycle. So that's what I'm taking. The Reading Nook asks, how many IUIs have you had? 4. This was my 4th one, and I'll get to it later. Never mind. What's the process of the IUI? So you go in there for your appointment, and they call you back first for an ultrasound to see if you are in fact ovulating or just ovulated. Once they confirm that, they send your husband off to collect his sample, and then after about 45 minutes, they have already washed and weeded out the semen, and so you come back with a report that usually has higher numbers and higher motility, and then they call you back to the office, and they have a catheter that's hooked onto a syringe, and it's kind of a long catheter, and it's hard plastic, and they thread it through the cervix, which can hurt sometimes, and then they slowly push it into your uterus. And so that process probably takes 2 minutes or so for the fluid to completely go into you, and then some nurses are like, okay, you can get up and go, and other nurses let you lay there. So it's just, I think I laid there for like 5 minutes, but that was it. Yeah. Baby Hopes Barbie says, how many IUIs did you plan on doing? So my husband and I talked about doing 5 IUIs because the rates are like 20 to 30%, and so we figured after 5 times we should be pregnant. My awesome in-laws paid for the actual IUI procedure. So all the medication and the testing and the surgery and all of that prep work that went into it, we paid for ourselves, and then they were so kind to pay for the IUI. This last IUI, they said that that would probably be the last one that they would give us. So, which was fine. I mean, they were more than generous in giving us 4 IUIs. So yeah, and we can't really afford IUI right this moment, so we were probably going to wait until next year to start again. So this was it for a while. I'm happy it worked. Avery X Mommy 11. How long have you been married? 8 years in December. I'm super happy. Catherine Sosa asked, how did you stay strong and not give up? Like I said before, I had really amazing support during all of my trying to conceive. My husband has always been a rock there for me, and my best friend I just met a year ago, and she has completely transformed how I feel. She gives me hope, and she makes me laugh. She takes my mind off of it. I mean, she's really great. So Lavender Ice asks baby shower themes, and I don't know. I'm gonna try to hold off on thinking about themes and nursery themes and all these things until I get to my 2nd trimester, and then I can finally focus on that kind of stuff. Brandy Scott asks, did you have any baby buys before you got your BFP? Yeah, it was actually, I got maternity clothes when I was first pregnant, and I was like 8 weeks, and I went maternity shopping, and then 9 weeks I had my miscarriage. So, I mean, I'm sure that had nothing to do with it, but it was like I had to box up my maternity clothes and hide them, like I had my husband hide them from me, because just seeing them would bring me to tears. I would be so distraught. Other than that, oh, and we did buy a travel bottle insulated bag, and that's all we bought. When I was first pregnant, my in-laws bought me 10 Bum Genius reusable diapers, all-in-ones, and so I have quite a collection of reusable diapers, cloth diapers. Also, my good friend gave me these tiny little Disney socks for babies, because she knows I'm a crazy Disney freak, and also like little superhero socks, because she knows that my husband's a huge nerd. So she's like, either way, you're covered, boy or girl, you're fine. So I have baby stuff that I am not getting rid of and I'm going to use, so I do have baby stuff. Melissa with Love asks, what was your major in college? I did human development and family sciences, with an emphasis on human services and gerontology, so like social work and working with the elderly population. I have never actually worked. I did my internships in nursing home and assisted living facilities for the older population, but that's not where my heart is. My heart is in working in special education. So that's what I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 years, is working in special education, which that's where my passion lies. Bonita OXO asks, do you want a baby right away after you give birth, or do you want to wait? My clock is ticking. I am ready to have a baby right after. Now, remind me that I said this when I have my postpartum update and I'm all, oh, that was so painful. painful or whatever. Or, you know, I had so many complications, whatever. I'll probably try as soon as I can. Cassie Turner asks, what are your feelings on surrogacy? I am so for surrogacy. My best friend that I met a year ago, she offered to be a surrogate for me, which again brought me to tears. And I would totally go that route if I cannot carry a child on my own. I even offered one of my friends to be a surrogate if I had the option to. If my hormones were in line and if I were 100% up and running and no issues, then I would definitely want to be a surrogate myself, so I definitely am for it. P-Shell asks, what gender are you leaning towards? Girl! So that is my Q&A video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will probably update you guys in a couple of days when I am in Europe. So I will talk to you later. Bye, ladies!